you?
I'm doing well. We're gonna need your services for Miss Valencia Perez. It's Viviana Valencia Perez. Hold on. So
Do you have her charge, Judge? Because
yes,
I do have her name, but I don't have anything.
it is. It's one of those things of basically it's like on the bond order, it's unlicensed resident 30 plus days. So there's a statute that says you have to change your license within 30 days. And it appears that that's what she's charged under. The warrant number is 2021 CW 53733.
So it's 2021 CW 53733.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with the script, and then when I'm done with that, we'll deal with Miss Valencia Perez, and then Miss Bermudez. Why did I call you Miss Bermuda? You can go about your day.
Yes, sir.
And assist others. Okay, I'm ready to get started. Good morning. This is your first appearance hearing before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County.
Buenos días. Esta es su comparecencia inicial ante el Tribunal de Primera Instancia del Condado de Clayton.
My name is Brad Gardner, and I'm a judge in this court.
Mi nombre es Brad Gardner y yo soy un juez en este tribunal.
I'm here to inform you of the charges that have been filed against you,
Yo estoy acá para informarle de cuáles son los cargos que se le han imputado,
to advise you of certain rights,
para decirles cuáles son sus derechos,
to set bail on those offenses that I'm authorized to set bail,
para otorgarle una fianza en aquellos delitos que se me permite otorgarle fianza,
to schedule a preliminary hearing,
para programar una audiencia preliminar,
and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney.
y para determinar si usted requiere la asistencia de un abogado.
You have the right to remain silent and say nothing.
Usted tiene el derecho de permanecer en silencio y no decir nada,
But should you give up this right, anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you.
pero si usted renuncia a este derecho, cualquier cosa que usted diga durante este proceso podría ser usado en su contra.
So please don't discuss the facts of your case.
Ya que por favor no hable de cómo ocurrieron los hechos en su caso.
During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights:
Durante este y todos los procesos siguientes, usted tiene los siguientes derechos:
to the presumption of innocence,
a la presunción de inocencia,
to indictment by a grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors,
a que se le formule una acusación por el jurado indagatorio para la mayoría de los delitos graves, o que se le formule una acusación para los delitos menores,
to a speedy and public trial by jury,
a tener un juicio público, rápido y por jurado,
to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you,
de ver, escuchar y contrainterrogar a los testigos que sean citados a testificar en su contra,
to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf,
de obligar a los testigos que asistan a testificar a su favor,
to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense,
de testificar a su favor o de presentar pruebas para ser usadas en su defensa,
to have an attorney represent you.
de tener un abogado para que lo represente.
If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you qualify.
Si usted no puede contratarse un abogado, se le podría nombrar uno si usted califica.
Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail.
Alguno de ustedes se le va a permitir pagar fianza para permitirle salir de la cárcel.
These bonds may be posted by cash, commercial, or property.
Estas fianzas pueden ser pagadas en efectivo, usando una compañía de fianzas o usando una propiedad.
Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to certain places.
Algunos de ustedes van a tener ciertas condiciones en su fianza donde se le prohíbe ponerse en contacto con ciertas personas o de que vayan a ciertos lugares.
You will also be prohibited from contacting the victim while you're in jail.
A usted también se le va a prohibir que se ponga en contacto con la víctima mientras usted esté encarcelado.
If you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you could remain in jail until your trial.
Si usted no cumple la orden del juez, su fianza sería revocada y usted tendría que permanecer encarcelado hasta que su caso vaya a juicio.
You could also receive additional felony charges.
Y también se le podrían imputar cargos adicionales.
It's important to note that if someone is listed as a victim in your case, that person will not be allowed to post your bond.
Es importante saber que si una persona está nombrada como la víctima en su caso, a esa persona no se le va a permitir pagar la fianza por usted.
Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail.
Algunos de ustedes se le acusa de delitos en los cuales por ley a este juez no se le permite otorgarle fianza.
In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a judge of the Superior Court of Clayton County, and you will be informed of that date.
En este caso, una audiencia para pedir fianza va a ser programada ante un juez del Tribunal Superior del Condado de Clayton y a usted se le va a informar de cuándo va a ser esa fecha.
If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond at this time.
Y si usted está actualmente bajo libertad condicional, a este juez no se le permite otorgarle fianza en estos momentos.
Where the bond is appropriate in your case will be reconsidered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to consider this new arrest.
Si la fianza es apropiada en este caso, se tomaría en consideración nuevamente después que su agente de libertad condicional haya tenido la oportunidad de tomar en consideración este nuevo arresto.
The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to support the allegations against you.
El propósito de una audiencia preliminar es determinar si hay suficientes pruebas que sustenten las alegaciones en su contra.
The standard at this stage is very low.
El estándar en esta etapa es muy bajo.
A judge determining whether a charge goes forward at this stage only has to determine that it is possible that the crime occurred.
Para que un juez determine si un cargo procede en esta etapa, solamente tiene que determinar que existe la posibilidad de que el delito fue cometido.
Everyone has the ability to waive their right to a preliminary hearing.
Cada uno de ustedes tienen la habilidad de renunciar a tener su audiencia preliminar.
However, you should speak to a lawyer first if you are unsure about whether it is appropriate to waive your preliminary hearing.
Sin embargo, usted debe de hablar con un abogado primero si usted no está seguro si es apropiado renunciar a tener su audiencia preliminar.
If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived.
Si usted paga su fianza, su audiencia preliminar se cancela automáticamente.
You will receive notice at the address you give of your next court date.
Usted va a recibir una notificación en la dirección que usted dé de cuándo va a ser su próxima corte.
Lastly, I need everyone to raise your right hand, please.
Y finalmente, yo necesito que todos levanten su mano derecha, por favor.
Do you swear or affirm any statements you make during this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Jura usted y afirma que cualquier declaración que usted dé durante este proceso va a ser la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad, lo jura ante Dios.
Yes.
Okay, let's begin on the ladies' side with Miss Valencia Perez.
Vamos a comenzar en el lado de las mujeres con la señorita Valencia Pérez.
Okay, ma'am, can you see and understand the interpreter?
Señorita, ¿puede usted ver y entender al intérprete?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am, you've been charged with one count of essentially having being unlicensed after being in the state for more than 30 days?
Señorita, a usted se le acusa de un cargo donde esencialmente se le acusa de no tener licencia en el estado después de haber vivido acá por más de 30 días.
I set the bond at $500. Do you believe you can post that bond there?
Yo le fijé una fianza de $500. ¿Cree usted que va a poder pagar esa fianza, señorita?
Sí.
Yes.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 21st at 8:30 in the morning.
Su audiencia preliminar va a estar fija para el día 21 de septiembre a las 8:30 de la mañana.
That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail.
Esa fecha se cancela tan pronto usted pague su fianza y salga, y usted recibiría un nuevo citatorio por correo.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
¿Le gustaría a usted que yo vea si usted califica para nombrarle un abogado?
Yo no necesito un abogado.
No le escucho.
Yo voy a pagar un abogado.
I'm going to pay for an attorney.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me, ma'am?
¿Tiene usted alguna pregunta para mí, señorita?
No.
No.
Okay, ma'am. You are free to go back.
Ok, señorita, puede retirarse.
Ms. Harris,
Ms. Bermudez, thank you as always for your assistance. Have a good day, ma'am.
Yes, sir. You have a good day as well.
I will do my best. Who did you call, deputy? I'm sorry.
Ms. Harris, Gardner Harris.
Ms. Harris, okay. Ms. Harris, ma'am, you've been charged with one count of obstructing or hindering a law enforcement officer, and one count of giving a false name, address, or date of birth. The bond for each of these offenses is going to be set at $2,000. So you're going to have a $4,000 total bond. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
Not in cash, no.
Okay, you're going to have the opportunity to either go through a bonding company, cash, or property. So those three options are going to be available to you.
Okay.
Okay. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 21st at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you will get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay, all right, ma'am, you're free to go back. Do we have Miss Gaylor? Is she there?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Is that whom you're calling next?
I'm gonna, yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
And I just asked that question because I have my paperwork sort of, it's not arranged in alphabetical order, but it's arranged in the way that it is on the first appearance list. So when I have to start hunting and pecking, it slows me down a little bit.
okay, Judge.
You are Miss Gaylor?
Yeah.
Ma'am, you're charged with one count of simple battery. The bond is going to be set at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? I'm sorry, ma'am. I didn't hear an audible response.
He said no, Your Honor.
Okay. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, ma'am, you do qualify for the appointment of a lawyer. I am going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond, to stay away from a Joshua Davis. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 21st at 8:30 in the morning. The date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. I would encourage you to contact the bonding companies that are authorized to write bonds here in this county, because that's literally their only business model, and they will work with you. So don't resign yourself to sitting in jail.
Okay.
Okay, do you have any questions for me, ma'am?
Oh, sorry.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Ms. Jacobs?
Miss Jacobs, ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of cruelty to animals. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
I believe so.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 21st at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Other than my husband is also for the same.
Yes, ma'am. And he's going to have the same bond. So do you anticipate there being a problem as it relates to that?
I don't believe so. I think we are okay.
Okay. Any other questions, ma'am?
Is there any way, because my mother, who is 74, also has a warrant out, and we're trying to do this so that there's no one, because we have a child and a handicapped sister. I'm just trying to figure out if there's a way for her not to come to jail to do the warrant and all of that without the bond and all. I'm just.
Is your mother Miss Gentry?
Yes, sir.
So she's not on this calendar, and I did not see a warrant. So I don't know if the officer sought a warrant for Miss Gentry. And he may not have because of her age, but I don't know.
Okay.
But if she's going to, I'm going to be handling these hearings for the next 3 days. So if she's going to appear before me, I'll do my best to make certain that she's out. I probably would set $1,000 bond for her.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions, ma'am? Okay, ma'am, free to go back.
Ms. Jackson? Lori? Lori Jackson?
No. She's Jackson. I just know my name on the product.
Okay, call in the dealer, okay. Miss Kennedy?
Okay, I have for Miss Jackson, I also have the name of Gaylord.
Yes,
So I think
it's the same person, Your Honor, I just realized.
yes, I think that may have caused the problem with me also. Are you Miss Little?
Kennedy.
Kennedy. Okay, ma'am, you're charged with I do not see a Kennedy on my calendar. Are you known by any other names, ma'am? Okay. Hold on. We're gonna figure it out. Okay. Tell me your full name.
Natasha Rodriguez Kennedy.
I do not see Miss Kennedy on the first appearance list that I received from the Sheriff's Department. Do you see it on your list?
I see her on mine, Your Honor.
hold on. Let me see. Let me check my list for the add-ons.
I was gonna say, is she an add-on judge?
That's what I'm gonna check. Let's see. I don't have you listed as an add-on. The only add-on I have is Shakir Fulford. When were you arrested, ma'am?
Yesterday about 10:30, they had a problem with my paperwork. The officer had to come back and correct the paperwork and it was still wrong. So I don't know. Maybe that has a lot to do with it.
Okay.
Can somebody from the jail give me a call, please? Just let me work on it. We can move on. Let me see what's going on.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, I see Mr. West is logged on. Mr. West, if you can hear me. What's the LE number that you have for Miss Jackson?
Miss Kennedy,
I'm sorry, Miss Kennedy.
Your Honor, that LE number would be 1431686.
1431646.
That would be 686, Your Honor.
686. Okay.
Correct.
All right, Miss Kennedy. I'm getting a call right now, so we may have the answer. Give me 1 second.
Please say your name, Sabir. Do that. Are you saying it, Sabir? All right.
Okay, ma'am. I just got a call from Clerk West, and you are here on a failure to appear, which means you don't come before me for first appearance. You're gonna have to go back before the judge. That your case, whatever case that was assigned to you for we call it FTA in shorthand language. So you were placed on this calendar, but you're really supposed to go back before the judge that you have an open case before.
my ad, it's in Riverdale.
And so Clayton County Jail holds people for Jonesboro, Morrow, Riverdale, that sort of thing. So it seems like that's the mix up. And you're just added onto this calendar. But when it's a failure to appear, it's not a new charge.
Right.
It is something that the judge that your case is before has to resolve.
My ask, like, what am I supposed to do as far as contacting them? Because no one ever contacted me about the court date. Like, I never got nothing in the mail. I just know I went to court. They told me to write my address down. They're gonna reschedule my court date, and I never got anything in the mail.
Do you have a lawyer representing you on that charge in Riverdale?
Yes, his name was Brandon something. I don't remember his last name, but I did have a lawyer. He haven't even contacted me. The last I heard, he had COVID on my last court date. That's why they rescheduled me.
Okay. So Your lawyer would be the first person that I would encourage you to contact. I believe you may have a bond set on the FTA. And if that's the case, you can post that bond and get released. But it's kind of, those issues are kind of out of my wheelhouse as it relates to knowledge, because it's really going to deal with Riverdale. Okay, so Mr. West just texted me to let me know that you have a cash bond.
Meaning I can only
So-
pay cash, right?
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Like that means I only pay cash. Like they want
Um,
bonding company.
What I believe is that you can go through a bonding company, or you can pay the whole amount in cash. He just texted me again, it's $1,701. So if you post a bond in that amount, you will be able to walk out of jail today. Okay? All right, man. Good luck to you.
Ms. Little.
Miss Little, ma'am, you've been charged with battery, family violence. I've set the bond at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
There was on the warrant, it said that the victims were a Sandra L. Little and a Sandra S. Little.
This need, that's, I think it's S, I think it's Sandra S. I don't know who Sandra L is. I
Okay, it had two separate date of birth, so I'm just placing it down.
it's one person.
Okay. So the stay away provision is going to stay away from Miss Sandra Little, where
Oh,
there's
wow.
a L or an S. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes, sir. And it's
Your
not-
preliminary
That's-
hearing date is going to be set for September 21st at 8:30 in the morning. The date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Now, ma'am, I cut you off. What were you attempting to say?
I was just saying her last name is Scott, not Little.
Okay. There is, unfortunately, I'm limited with the knowledge of what I have that's before me. So I accept your representation that the name is Scott and not Little. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Please.
Okay, you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
All right, can't go back in there to see who's left. Ms. Sabir.
Okay. Ms. Sabir, ma'am, you're charged with one count of simple assault. I've set the bond at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? Okay. There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Ralph Gray. Do you understand that? Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Are you currently working, ma'am? I'm sorry, ma'am.
Yes, yes, I'm
Oh,
correct.
about how much do you make per hour?
Well, currently, due to COVID, I had to put off finishing off school until probably like January of 2022, because I'm not gonna be able to do it through like COVID 2021. Also, I deliver and make deliveries for a living, so I make money per delivery.
It sounded like you may said $22 per hour. Is that what you said?
I said I make different prices for delivery, depending on the size and the distance of the delivery I deliver. I make deliveries for a living.
I'm going to ask you to make an a guesstimate. How much do you believe you may earn per month?
Per month.
Yes, ma'am.
Normally my account, is, it varies depending on the month. I may make like, maybe like 1,500,
Did you say 600?
1,500.
She said about 1,500, Your Honor.
Okay, you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any other questions of me?
Yes, as far as you, finding a lawyer to represent me, is that
Could
going
you speak a little louder, ma'am? I can barely hear you.
for a court case here? Like, is that gonna be for today, where they handle like my bond stuff behind the scenes, like the release today? Or do I have to just go ahead and try to pursue like maybe the bond options? Like, I'm not familiar with this system. I don't know.
Okay, Deputy, can you help me out? Because I could barely hear what she was
Your
saying.
Honor, she's asking about the court, the attorney that you're appointing her, if it's gonna be for her getting bond out or for the processing of the court moving forward.
It'll be moving forward, ma'am. The lawyer has nothing to do with your ability to bond out. So you're gonna have to make those steps independently. The Sheriff's Department will provide you with a list of the bonding companies that are authorized to write bonds here in Clayton County. And it's gonna be incumbent upon you to contact those bonding companies and make arrangements with them. Tell them your name, your charge, and your bond amount. And they have access to the computer system. They can look it up. So it's going to be something where it's like you're going to have to engage whatever bonding company you feel comfortable with to assist you in getting out. Okay. Is there anything else, ma'am? Okay.
Ms. Sanders?
Did we lose Miss Stevens?
She's here, Your Honor. Ms. Stevens is here.
Okay, I'll deal with Miss Sanders. Ma'am, you're here on what's called a fugitive from justice warrant. And what that basically means is that there's a warrant for your arrest out of South Carolina. And they have indicated that they wish to go through the process of having you brought back to South Carolina to face this warrant. It also says that you may have a separate name as a Jessica Dinkins. So has anyone spoken to you yet about this?
Yes, sir. Guy with the fugitive team told me that I had to come see if I could sign a waiver so they can come get me.
Right. And so, and I asked that question as just a start so that if you have thought about this and you know what you're going to do, you can tell me. Have you thought about this and do you know what option you want to pursue?
Yes, sir. I want to go, I guess I want to go ahead and get it done with.
Okay, so the deputies there will give you a copy of the waiver documents and you sign off on those documents and they will send them to me. And then I will sign off and then the clock will start running today.
How long do they have this on?
Up to 60 days. There's an initial 30-day period. My understanding is that it generally happens faster than that. But because I'm not up in South Carolina responsible for sending a person down to pick you up, I can only tell you the limits that they have.
So I thought the guy told me this morning it could be up to 30 days.
That's the initial period. They can request an additional 30 days. And if they have not come and gotten you within 30 days, the Sheriff's Department here will contact them and say, hey, she signed a waiver. What are you doing? And they may say, hey, we've rethought it. We're not going to come get her. Or they may say, hey, we need an additional 30 days. I don't know. I don't understand. Well, I'll say this. I do understand the time limits. I can't promise you an exact time, but generally, if they've gone through the process of saying, yes, we want her, they're going to be sending somebody relatively soon to come get you.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
It just, only thing that's bothering me, because I had just completed, the Clayton County Drug Court with Judge Mason. And I completed aftercare, and I'm currently on probation. And when I took drug court in 2018, they told me that all my charges with everything was current. Miss Tanya Bears, my accountability guy.
So I don't know if there been new charges, and that's possible. I don't have the date that the warrant was issued.
It was July 26, 2016. I accepted drug court May 18, 2018. I completed drug court in November the 19th, and I completed aftercare May the 5th. And I'm just currently meeting my new officer at Clayton County.
So it may be in your best interest, ma'am, as quickly as possible to hire a lawyer up in the Greenville area as it relates to South Carolina, because this is something that may be able to get resolved. I've had situations where people have appeared before me and they got a lawyer to represent them in whatever jurisdiction. Lawyer contacted the court, contacted prosecutors. They were like, okay, hey, we agreed to do this. So it may be something that instead of waiting for something to happen to you, you may want to be proactive and try to see if you can get people on the line up in South Carolina through a lawyer. And it may work in your favor. But I don't know. And all I can tell you is that no matter what happens, it's better to have legal representation when you're dealing with these charges up in South Carolina than to not have it. Okay. Any other questions, ma'am? Okay. All right, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Okay, Your Honor, that concludes. We have one more. We have one more.
Ms. Stevens?
Stephen, come on. I apologize, Your Honor.
Ms. Stevens, looks like the deputy wants you to stay in jail another night. Ma'am, you've been charged with one count of criminal trespass. I've set the bond at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
$3,000 with a bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision for a Sherry Scott. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 21st at 8:30 in the morning. The date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Ma'am, would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
What am I going so high?
I'm sorry, ma'am.
$3,000.
Did you say what the bond will be?
No, I asked you why was my bond $3,000?
I try to be uniform. And so criminal trespass, when it relates to damaging somebody else's property, I set it at $3,000. When it comes to You're at a place that you're not supposed to be, generally set at, because those are the two ways that you can violate the statute. I set it at $1,500. So everybody that's appeared before me today on criminal trespass, their bond is $3,000.
Any other question?
I'm kind of confused because I don't know what criminal trespass means. Is that, is you saying that I trespass of the person?
Okay, so the allegation, ma'am, that's on the warrant is, give me 1 second. That you interfered with Ms. Scott's possession of her personal belongings, that you removed them from the bedroom of the apartment and they were placed inside of a storage unit and the locks to the apartment were changed. And I'm not asking you to agree that this occurred, because you really need to speak to your lawyer first, but does that help you understand the charge?
It does.
Okay. Okay. The state has proved it beyond a reasonable doubt, ma'am. I'm here to try to move this along so that you can get out of jail and you can start defending yourself.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions, ma'am?
That's it.
Okay, free to go back. All right, let's switch over to the male side. Thank you for your assistance over on the female side.
Yes, Your Honor. May I excuse myself?
Yes, sir. Have a good day.
Have a good day.
Your Honor, I have two on the list that I would like you to start first.
Okay.
Robbie James and Robinson Tyree. Sir, is on the list.
Did you say Tyler?
No, Robinson Tyree.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay, I see Mr. Robinson. And what was the other person's?
Roddy James. Roddy James.
Okay. Yes. All right. I have him, I think maybe his last name is Roddy.
Yes, sir.
All right, so bring up whom you want to bring up first. Tell your name, sir.
I am Rod.
Okay. I'm reaching for your paperwork. And just so that I am clear, you are Mr. Robinson, correct?
I'm Mr. Rod.
You're Mr. Roddy. Okay, Mr. Roddy, sir, you've been charged with 1 count of aggravated assault, 1 count of giving guns, drugs, or alcohol to an inmate. Bond is going to be denied on both of these charges at this point. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? I'm sorry, sir. And I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. I'm being distracted. Did you say yes? Okay. Okay, got Mr. Robinson. And let's see, you do qualify, Mr. Roddy. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date that's gonna be set for September 22nd at 8:30 in the morning. You're also gonna have a bond hearing date that's gonna be set for September 24th. Do you have any questions of me, sir? Okay, all right, you're free to go back, sir.
Robinson Tyree, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Robinson, sir, you're charged with 1 count of criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree. I believe this is listed as a felony. Give me 1 second. Yes, it's listed as a felony. So your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 22nd at 8:30 in the morning. Do you believe you can post a bond of $5,000, sir?
Sir, I can't, I don't even supposed to be in a jail, sir. Pardon me. I don't even supposed to be in a jail. It's illegal. No, sir. I don't think I can post a bill on my mama.
Okay. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Latrinia White. Do you understand that? I'm sorry, sir. Did you say yes?
Yes, sir. That's my mama, sir.
I understand. But do you understand there's going to be a stay away provision to stay away from her?
Bro, how long, sir? Kill me. No, sir, go ahead. No, sir.
So it's going to be during the pendency of these charges or until this condition is removed. Your mother can contact the district attorney's office and seek to have the stay away provision removed. The allegation, as I'm certain you're probably aware, is that you damaged your mother's china cabinet, dining room chair, and the damage is over estimated cost of the damage is over $500. So that's how it becomes a felony. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes or no? You gotta say something. Yes, sir. Yes or no, sir? Sir, you got me scared, sir. Yes, sir. I'm trying to talk.
Mr. Robinson, do me a favor. Take a deep breath, okay? These are simple questions, and it's in your best interest to just answer the questions. I don't know you. I don't know your mother. I'm not here to fight you about anything. I'm here to try to, Mr. Robinson, do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir. Whatever you gotta do to give me up out of here, sir. Wish I could be at home, sir.
Are you currently working, Mr. Robinson?
Sir, I cannot work because I got hit by a car, sir. By a car. Just yes or no? That's it. And I just can't work no more. I gotta be retired.
So let's try to break this down into yes or no answers.
No, sir.
Okay, I got you. You do qualify for the appointment of a lawyer. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any other questions for me, Mr. Robinson?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, all right, free to go back. All right, so are we gonna start with Mr. My list, I have Mr. Benton. Tell me your name, sir.
Marcellus Benton.
Okay, Mr. Benton, sir, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass, damage to property. Bond is gonna be set at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision as it relates to Antonia Douglas. And I apologize for butchering her name, but do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 21st at 8:30 in the morning. The date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, sir. I gotta pay a lawyer.
Okay, do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back.
Thanks.
Mr. Banks, so you have an interesting case, sir. I've set bond on all of these offenses. There's no last name listed. There's going to be stay away provisions, but there are only two first names that were listed, a Myosha and a Magdalene. And I'm assuming that you know both. Is that correct? So you're going to have a stay away provision to stay away from there. You've been charged with one count of family violence battery. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. One count of simple assault, battery is going to be set at $3,000. One count of false imprisonment, bond is going to be set at $5,000. One count of criminal trespass, damage to property, bond is going to be set at $5,000. One count of kidnapping and bond is going to be set at $20,000. One count of theft by taking, bond is going to be set at $2,000. So you're going to have a total bond of, if my math is correct, $40,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
No, not yet.
Okay. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 22nd at 8:30 in the morning. The date will get waived upon your ability to bond out.
Is it,
Give me 1 second. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
yes, sir.
Okay. I have to find your form.
It ain't possible I can get no OR bond on the special conditions.
What would be the basis of the OR bond?
Like, signing myself out and like with the anchor moment on.
So you're getting bond because your criminal history was not that bad. If I remember correctly, it was maybe 6 or 7 arrests. But you were getting kind of close to the edge of being denied bond. So you're really pushing it to ask for an OR bond when I was considering not letting you out at all. And I'm sorry.
I understand. Is it possible I can get on the anchor moment? I do have a job, sir.
So the way that I read these charges, Mr. Banks, as a judge, I have to look at it. You have the presumption of innocence, and I have to decide your right to be presumed innocent versus whether these actions actually occurred. And so when I set the bond amount is based upon if these actions actually occurred. And it's the allegations against you are pretty stark. And let me go through the process of seeing, do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Are you currently working, Mr. Banks? I'm sorry, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm working.
About how much do you make per hour?
$19.50.
Okay, so you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. The lawyer, what I would encourage you to do is speak to the lawyer about the facts of this case. These warrants were sworn out on, what's the date? May 15th of this year. If there's something that the lawyer can bring to the attention of the DA's office. They may reduce the bond. There may be an agreement reached. But with kidnapping and false imprisonment, I can't reduce the bond. I can't reduce it. Okay. Anything else, sir?
No.
All right, you're free to go back, Mr. Banks. Is it Becerra?
Becerra Fernando.
Okay, sir, you've been charged with 1 count of driving a vehicle without a license. Bond is going to be set at $1,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 21st at 8:30 in the morning. The date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Okay. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
No.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Blackman.
Mr. Blackman, sir, you're charged with 1 count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. Bond is going to be set at $3,000 for that charge, and 1 count of obstructing an officer. Bond is going to be set at $2,000, so that's going to be a total bond of $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
I'm not sure. Is there any way I can get one of those reduced to try to help?
Is there any way you can get something released? I don't understand what the something released, what you're referring to.
I can try to make it bond.
Okay. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 21st at 8:30 in the morning. That day will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer, Mr. Blackman?
But this time right now, I'm not sure.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
I wanted to talk to someone about releasing my property because I do have my debit bank card, and that's the only way I know I'm gonna be able to try to post bond. So wanted to try to see if I can get down to intake to sign over my property.
So you're gonna have to make that request within the jail, and they will accommodate you. But that's not something that I can order to be done. They have to follow whatever steps they have. I'm sorry, sir.
I tried to get it done last night and they wouldn't do it, so.
Okay, you may want to contact the bonding companies. And if that's going to be a hindrance, the bonding companies may have you sign a document where you acknowledge that you're going to pay this amount, and they cover the bond, and then you get released, you get your property back, and then you can pay the bonding company.
All right.
Okay, anything else, sir? All right, you're free to go back. Mr. Clark.
1 second, Your Honor. I gotta tell you, he's in a wheelchair.
Okay. Oh, I don't think I have his paperwork. Mr. Clark, sir, can you hear me? Can you hear me, sir? Mr. Clark, sir, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. The bond is going to be set at $3,000. 1 count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. The bond is also going to be set at $3,000. And 1 count of loitering or prowling. Bond is going to be set at $1,000. So you're going to have a total bond set at $7,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir? Okay. You have felony offenses with the violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. So your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 22nd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get changed upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer, Mr. Clark?
No.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me, sir? Okay. I'm going to take that as a no. All right. Mr. Clark is free to go back. Mr. Connor. Are you Mr. Connor?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Connor, sir, you're charged with 1 count of driving a vehicle with defective headlights and 1 count of driving a vehicle without a valid license. Bond is going to be set at $500 for the defective headlights and $1,000 for the driving a vehicle without a valid license. So it's total bond of $1,500. You believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, I can. The only problem is getting contact with my people on the outside. Don't lean on the wall. That's the only way you can see my face.
Okay, so Mr. Connor, you're going to be allowed to use the phones when you leave this hearing. So you will be allowed to make phone calls.
No, that's not the problem. Your Honor. The problem is when I got in, my phone died and I don't remember any numbers, so I can't contact my people at all. I don't even know if they know I have a phone. That's the problem.
So
Like I got the bond money, I just need to get in contact with my people. And I don't remember no numbers on my phone is dead. That's the only problem, Your Honor.
and I understand that. You know, I think the more I listen to this stuff, the more I understand I'm like an old fossil because we had to memorize numbers. And I hear that a lot. So 411, I believe, still works. So you know the person's name, you can use 411 to try to get in contact with the person. If you are in jail for more than 2 days and somebody's not reaching out trying to find you, you may have to re-examine the life that you're living. Because people are just like, oh, well, hey, this dude's gone, I don't care. And that's not something I can do anything about. But try 411, okay, sir? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 21st at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. So I apologize in the time that it's taken me to do this, but when I got these forms back, they're not in alphabetical order, so I got to hunt and peck. You do qualify, Mr. Connor. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back. Ms. Freeman? Okay, Mr. Freeman, you're charged with 2 counts of armed robbery. I am not allowed at this stage to set bond on the armed robbery offenses. So I've just denied bond on the other 3 offenses. So the armed robbery, possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime. Armed robbery is denied under no bond 1761. Possession of a weapon during commission of crime, sexual battery, possession of firearm by a convicted felon. There are no bond denied And then the last armed robbery charge is also denied of, when I say no bond 1761, that's the statute that deals with it. There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Geneva way. Do you understand that, sir? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 22nd at 8:30 in the morning. You're going to also have a bond hearing date set for September 24th at 8:30 in the morning. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? I'm sorry, sir. Okay. Okay, Mr. Freeman, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Under what grounds am I being denied bond?
I cannot set bond on armed robbery charges at this stage. And the code section is OCGA, which stands for the Official Code of Georgia 1761. And they call them the 7 deadly sins, where they have prohibited, the legislature has prohibited judges from setting bonds on those offenses at the first stage. Doesn't mean you can't get out, but it means you have to have a hearing.
Why didn't I get a bond on the other one?
Because there's going to have to be another judge setting bond. So instead of my setting bond on the other offenses, you can't get out anyway. Is better practice or considered better form to allow that judge who's going to sit there and hear everything to decide what bond should be set. Okay. Any other questions, sir? All right, you're free to go back. Mr. Flores? Sir, you're charged with 1 count of battery. The bond is going to be set at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes.
There, and I could barely read the handwriting of the officer, but it looks like the alleged victim it was either an F or an X. So it's either Rixonio Flores or Rufino Flores, but you know who that person is, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so there's going to be a stay away provision to stay away from her. Now, doesn't mean it's going to last forever. She can contact the solicitor's office and try to get it removed. We place these stay away provisions on bonds at this stage because we don't want whatever led for you to appear before me today to flare back up this evening. Okay. You are going to have a preliminary hearing date set for September 21st at 8:30 in the morning. The date will get waived upon your bonding out and you get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, sir, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me? Okay, that sounded like a no. I can barely hear. I think I'm getting old. But if you don't have any questions, sir, you're free to go back.
Mr. Jacob,
Mr. Jacobs, sir, you're charged with 1 count of cruelty to animals. I've set your bond at $5,000, the same amount that I set, I believe, for your wife. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
I believe so, sir.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for September 21st at 8:30 in the morning. The date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer, sir?
Please, so.
Okay. You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Just one quick one. So will that lawyer be the same one that you appoint for my wife?
So the law firm generally, Lister and Holt, handles misdemeanors. It can be if there is a request for that to happen. If you're entitled to your very own lawyer. So if you do not want to use the same lawyer, you do not have to. But if you so choose, that is something that you can agree to, okay? Okay, any other questions, sir?
That's it.
Okay, free to go back.
Thank you. John,
Mr. Jones, sir, you're charged with 1 count of battery bond. It's gonna be set at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
I don't know, sir.
Okay, there's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from, I believe looks like Raya Bailey.
Yes.
Okay, do you understand that, sir? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 21st at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
And I have a question as well.
I'm sorry, sir.
Yes, sir, and I got a question as well.
Okay. Let me first see if you qualify, and then I'm gonna let you ask whatever question you want to ask, okay? Ooh, I do not see your form. Are you currently working, Mr. Jones?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. You do qualify for the appointment of a lawyer. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Now, what was your question?
Is it possible to get an OR bond or maybe an ankle monitor? Because, you know, I have a little girl, she's turning 1, and I would kind of like to be there for that.
So the process and having that take place is I would have to continue your case over to tomorrow, and I would have to speak to my boss because she's the person that makes that determination this evening. I can look at your criminal history because we've had these conversations enough where I can tell you whether I believe she's going to grant it or not.
Or is it possible maybe for a bond reduction?
Let me see. I generally set the bond for battery at $5,000. And the basic reason is that you are in control of what you do with your hands, and you are an adult. And there are consequences to our actions.
Yes.
And I'll just finish my thought. As an adult, a lot of times we don't do something because we don't want the consequences that go with the actions. If you're a person out here that don't have to ever deal with consequences, you do whatever you want. Because somebody else is going to pay the freight. It's not going to be you, because you can do whatever you want. You have 11 cycles, and that is 11 interactions with law enforcement. I can tell you she's going to say no.
Okay.
And Mr. Jones, how old are you, sir?
21.
You're 21.
Yes, sir.
And you have 11 cycles.
Yes, sir.
I am 47. You know how many cycles I have? Contacts with law enforcement?
No, sir.
0.
Our lifestyles are different, sir. You gotta understand that there are 2 sides to every story.
How so?
I mean, you got the police side and then you got our side. You're gonna ride for your brethren.
Mr. Jones,
In each one of my cases, I just wasn't, I didn't know enough information to fight my cases. I didn't know nothing about how the judicial system works, what I could ask for, what I was missing out on, what I could have did, and I had no money for a paid attorney.
Mr. Jones, like we were explained earlier, this court is not for that purpose. If you have questions to be asked, ask the judge a question.
I understand, sir. I thought he had asked a question, so.
well, Mr. Jones, I'll tell you this. I don't know you, but I expect more of you. And what you're giving me are a bunch of excuses that are not going to help you in life. You're talking about having a child. You're going to have to teach that child, or that child is going to repeat everything that you're dealing with. And what's going to be the excuse then when your child is out getting arrested is, you know, she didn't have a father that told her the truth. She didn't have a father that cared enough to kind of really look into it. I'm going to keep the bond the way that it is, Mr. Jones. But you should understand, again, I don't know you, but I expect more of you. I don't expect to hear excuses. I believe that you are capable of doing whatever you need to succeed in life. And that's where I'm going to keep that bar. I'm not going to lower that bar. That bar is not going to be like, oh, I didn't have this, I didn't have that. People don't have things. They have to. Life is not about the stuff you get. It's about the things you overcome. And if you're going to allow things to set a low bar, because this is really a low bar. I mean, this incident involving this issue, the allegations that were made against you, like I said, I don't know you, but I know you better than that. And I'm going to expect more of you. And I'm not going to expect you to be in these situations. I'm not going to expect you to be in a situation where you're with someone and that person is lying on. I'm going to expect you to know better, to not be around those people, to only place yourself in situations where you can be successful. That's something that you can do. That's something that you can accomplish. And I'm not going to hold you to a lesser standard. Okay? So, would you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Are you currently working, Mr. Jones? You say no?
No,
Okay. I'm going to find you qualified, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. If you don't have any other questions, you're free to go back.
Moses.
Mr. Moses.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, sir. You're charged with 1 count of simple battery on a police officer. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. 1 count of criminal trespass. Bond is going to also be set at $3,000. And 1 count of obstruction of an officer. Bond is going to be set at $2,000. So that's going to leave you a total bond of $8,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir? I'm sorry, sir. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for September 21st at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
Yes, sir. Since I'm not paying my bond, do I have a choice to waive that preliminary hearing date to get the court date in 17 business days?
So the court dates, well, the short answer to your question is yes. My understanding is that for misdemeanors, they're doing plea hearing dates on Tuesdays. So you're not going to be able to get on Tuesday this week because we're past that date. So if you do not believe that you're going to be able to post a bond, you can get placed on, they're calling it sort of like a plea calendar, where basically you get, my understanding, looking at it, it's my interpretation. So got to take it with a grain of salt, but it looks like they're giving people time served, basically put them on probation, time served, just to let you out. Okay.
I understand. How can I make that happen?
Your lawyer is the best person. You're going to be assigned to the law firm of Lister and Hope. If you have not heard from them in a day or so, I would give them a call. It's in the phone book. And the paperwork is going to go out today. So they're going to know that you are going to be assigned to them. But I don't work there, so I can't guarantee you when they come out or don't come out.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Any other questions, sir? Okay. Free to go back. Mr. Prayshaw, sir, you're charged with 1 count of failing to stop at a stop sign. The bond is going to be set at $500 for that offense, and 1 count of driving on a suspended license. Bond is set at $1,500 for that offense. So you're going to have a total bond set at $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir. I actually should have posted bond, or my wife is trying to post bond right now. But
Okay.
last night they had told me 2,500. So is there any way that I can get that updated?
So there are fees that the sheriff's department is required to add to the bond amounts. Your bonds have been set by schedule, which means they're automatically set. So the number that you were given by the sheriff's department is the true and correct number. I don't have access to the fee schedule. So any bond that I set, they always have to add a fee to it.
Okay.
So what may have happened, because this is sort of like a cruise ship in the ocean trying to get everybody in one place, your wife may have already posted your bond, and you're just here. So if she's done that, then you're probably going to get a notification when you go back that your bond has been set, and you're going to be released. Now, the benefit is that I can appoint a lawyer for you if you want me to do that, which I wouldn't do on the front end. So do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir, most definitely, because to be honest, I didn't know, and I'm gonna handle that ticket today, with hopes of me being able to come to court and maybe get that thrown out.
Okay, I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you, Mr. Prayshaw. There's a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for September 21st, but that date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you have any questions for me, sir? Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Richardson.
Yes, sir.
Sir, you're charged with 1 count of trafficking marijuana, 1 count of obstructing an officer. The trafficking marijuana charge, I cannot set bond at this stage, and so it's going to be denied pursuant to the statute 17-6-1. There's going to be a $2,000 bond set for the obstructing an officer charge. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for September 22nd at 8:30 in the morning. The date will, you're not going to be able to bond out. You should speak to your lawyer, because your lawyer can possibly work with the district attorney's office, and there may be a consent bond. So you don't necessarily have to wait until the September 22nd or the September 24th date, which is the date that's going to be set for the bond hearing. Your lawyer may be able to advocate on your behalf and get you out sooner. Do you have any questions for me, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? I'm sorry, sir.
I have a paid lawyer.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back.
Mr. Thomas.
You are Mr. Thomas. Is Mr. Stone still there?
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Thomas, sir, you're charged with one count of violation of Georgia seatbelt law. Bond's gonna be set at $500 for that. One count of driving a vehicle without a license. Bond is gonna be set at $1,000 for that. And one count of distracted driving. Bond's gonna be set at $500. So you're gonna have a total bond set at $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yeah.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 21st at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer, Mr. Thomas?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm going to find that you do qualify, Mr. Thomas. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, sir? Okay, you're free to go back.
Mr. Stone.
Mr. Stone, sir, you're charged with one count of driving a vehicle on a suspended license. Bond is going to be set at $1,500 for that. And one count of giving a false name, address, or date of birth. Bond is going to be set at $2,000. So you're going to have a total bond set at $3,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, I can try.
Okay. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 21st at 8:30 in the morning. The date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Okay, sir, I'm going to find that you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me? I'm sorry, did you say no? Okay, Mr. Stone, sir, you're free to go back.
William.
Okay. Mr. Williams, sir, you're charged with one count of battery. Bond's going to be set at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a LaDarva Thomas. Do you understand that? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 21st at 8:30 in the morning. The date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? I'm sorry, sir? Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify, Mr. Williams. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back.
Your Honor, we have an add-on, Mr. Shakir Woodford.
Yes, sir. Okay, Mr. Shakir Fulford, sir, you've been charged with one count of criminal trespass, family violence. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir? Okay, there's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Miss Amira Fatima Shakir Fulford. Do you understand that, sir? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 21st at 8:30 in the morning. The date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Mr. Shakir Fulford, did you appear before me on Monday?
They said, no, my name was on the list and I didn't, have a what's her name? And then I came yesterday and you said that my paperwork was messed up. And then you came today, yeah.
Okay, this I've circled like that. You said that you were gonna hire your own lawyer.
No, they just didn't give me no papers.
Okay, so that was my error. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
That's right.
Are you currently working, sir?
No, I'm actually a high school student.
Okay.
And that's what I was gonna ask you. Based off the fact that based off the fact that one, you can look at my criminal history and the fact that I am a high school student, and right before this incident, I was already in the process of putting a restraining order on my mother. And I was also being appointed in counseling because I know that my mom is a trigger for me and that I took responsibility for my actions. That for one, I'm a high school student and I play basketball, 17 hours. Is there any way I could do savings a bond or something?
Okay, what I'll do, Mr. Shakir Fulford, is I am going to reduce this down to $1,000 bond. And what that means is that is the lowest amount that a bonding company will write a bond for. So it costs roughly maybe $150 to get out. I gotta hold you to the same standard that I hold everybody else, is that you're responsible for your actions. So that's something that I want you to keep in the back of your mind as you grow into adulthood, that things happen. And there are generally consequences to when certain things take place. For something like this, whether your mother is a trigger or not, you're in control of what you do.
Yes,
and so I'm going to reduce it down to $1,000. You should be able to get out on that. The bonding companies will work with you. But
Your Honor.
Let me say this and then I'll listen to you. What I would hope for you is that this is sort of a learning situation where you figure out kind of how not to be in this situation anymore. But go ahead, sir. I interrupted you.
For one, if you see my history each time it had something to do with my mother. I've stayed away from my mother for over a year and a half now. And it's the simple fact that I even have many people who can vouch for me and say that I literally go to school and basketball practice every day. I don't have a job and I am under a living state because I got kicked out of my mom's house when I was 17, homelessness. So I call my coach and my coach I don't know. That's the first person I can call is my coach because I have no one.
Please call your coach and allow your coach to help you. But at the same time, I'm reducing the bond down to $1,000, and that's I think as far as I'm willing to go. I wish we had better services in place that I could release you on an ORA bond. The only way I could release you on an ORA bond is for me to carry you over to tomorrow and have to have the conversation with my chief.
$1,000, right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, sir. And good luck to you. I truly mean that.
That was the last one, Your Honor.
Okay. Y'all were playing games with me today with the alphabetizing of the stuff. I see it.
When we send it for them to email it to you, I mean, we shuffle it out, we don't know how, we fix it before.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking with you. You guys have been great. I appreciate your help and your assistance. Today, I kind of let things drag on a little bit, but we're trying to do some different things, try to make some changes. Tomorrow will be a better day, I promise.
Yes, Your Honor, we appreciate that.
Okay, have a good day.
All right, thank
Let's
you.
be